Well, it's been a while since I did a video on any old spreadsheet programs, but today I'm going to talk about the one that started it all, VisiCalc. VisiCalc, as well as just like the whole concept of a spreadsheet in general, was conceived by Dan Bricklin while watching a presentation at Harvard Business School, and he was watching a professor creating a financial model on the blackboard, which was basically just made up of vertical and horizontal lines resembling accounting paper, and he was using it to create a table, and he wrote formulas and data into the cells. And when the professor found an error or wanted to change one of the parameters in the cells, he had to erase several different parts of the table and refill it in. And Bricklin thought, hey, I can make this a lot easier with a computer and have it like automatically recalculate everything when you change one of the cells. So he came up with the electronic spreadsheet. Dan Bricklin and Bob Frankston would form Software Arts. Together they would develop the VisiCalc program during the winter of 1978 to 79. VisiCalc would first release in mid-1979 for the Apple II, and it would go on to become one of the very first ever killer apps, or basically a program that was so useful and beneficial that it was worth buying a computer just so you can run that program. But VisiCalc wasn't just limited to the Apple II. It would later go on to be ported to a variety of other computers of the day, such as the Commodore PET, TRS-80, Atari 800, Apple III, IBM PC, as well as a couple others. And for today's video, I'm going to be demonstrating the Commodore PET version, or more specifically the 80-column PET version. I'm pretty sure the original Apple II version only really ran in 40 columns. This has got to be one of the very few, if not only, applications that'll work on both 40 and 80 column PETs. So anyway, I'm going to be demonstrating the 80 column PET version today, although pretty much all the versions are the same. There is one really annoying thing with the PET version, and it has to do with the copy protection. The PET version uses a form of physical copy protection, where the original copy would have come with a couple of ROM chips which would have gone into these option ROM sockets on the PET, and it would need those ROMs to be installed in order to work. Thankfully, I was able to find a cracked version online, although it doesn't include the 40 column version, it only includes the 80 column executable. So anyway, let's load up VisiCalc, and this is just a little disk I made up. As you can see at the top, there's two executable files. It's a VC Starter and VisiCalc 80. On the original disk, there would have been also a file that said VisiCalc 40, and what the VC Starter program does, it's basically what you load when you want to run VisiCalc, and it will detect whether you have a 40 or 80 column PET and then load the appropriate executable. But as I said, this wouldn't work on a 40 column PET because I can't find a cracked version of the 40 column executable. The files below the line are just some example spreadsheets I made that we'll take a look at in a sec. So anyway, I'm just going to load the first file on the disk by loading star, and now we can run the VC Starter program, which, as I said, will just detect what kind of PET we have and load the appropriate executable. And it takes a second to load, and there we go, we are now in VisiCalc. Copyright 1980 Software Arts. And we can use the cursor keys to cursor around the screen. On the original Apple II, since there were only two cursor keys, use the space bar to toggle between cursoring left and right and up and down, which is kind of annoying and not the most intuitive, but I don't know what's worse, that or whatever this crime against humanity is on the PET. To enter data into a cell, just simply start typing. There's also a number of functions built in that you can enter into a cell. Like, let's say we want the sum of those three cells that are filled in to be in this cell. So then we would type @sum, then we select the first cell, and then we hit the dot key and select the second cell and hit enter, and it adds those three cells up. And what was so cool and revolutionary about spreadsheets was that I can change one of these values and it'll recalculate that sum. A few of the other functions include @average, @max, and @min, as well as a few others. We can bring up a menu by hitting the slash key. You'll see up in the top left corner, there appears to be a bunch of letters. Each of those letters correspond to a different function on the menu. For example, We can hit /R to bring up the replicate function, which will allow us to copy a formula or @ function from one cell to a bunch of other cells, as shown here. We can also hit / and then the minus sign, which will allow us to put a repeating character in a cell. So I can hit like / dash and then dash again, and we'll get a series of dashes we can use as a dividing line in our spreadsheet. You can put any character you want though in there, so I can put like an A and have a bunch of A's, or I could put like an equal sign and have a double line. And yeah, you're probably just going to be using the minus sign and the equal sign most often. And we can use the replicate function to make a nice long line. One of the other things you can do is change the column width. And one really annoying thing about VisiCalc is you can't change the width on a per column basis. When you change the column width, it just changes the width of every single column in the entire spreadsheet. There's no way to change individual columns, which is kind of annoying. And speaking of columns, you can delete them outright with /D. You can also hit something like /S to save and whatnot. I'm not going to go through like absolutely everything here, but you get the idea. So anyway, what are my thoughts on VisiCalc, the first ever spreadsheet program from 1979? Well, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with it. I gotta say, I found it surprisingly intuitive and easy to use, considering how old it is. I was expecting it to be a lot worse. I generally think it's actually pretty neat and it holds up relatively well. It's amazing how many things have stayed the same over the years when it comes to spreadsheet programs. Not to say that it's completely perfect. I do find the menus a bit cryptic, and I definitely found myself annoyed a number of times with the lack of formatting options. Like for example, I can't center the contents of a cell, as well as I mentioned earlier, you can't adjust the column width on a per column basis. But anyway, I think both of these issues are just part of the fact that it's a product of its time, and VisiCalc is pretty neat, considering it's running on 1970s computer hardware, with a 1.2 megahertz CPU, not gigahertz, and 32 kilobytes of RAM, and a graphics processor that essentially only generates green text. So I really can't fault it for much, and it's actually pretty neat and impressive, and it was quite revolutionary when it came out. So anyway, that's just about it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this look at VisiCalc, the first ever spreadsheet program, and hope maybe this gives you some newfound appreciation for modern spreadsheet programs, and how influential spreadsheets have been over the years. I like making videos on a fairly regular basis, on really anything computer related that's obsolete. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, then maybe consider subscribing. My goal is to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. But anyway, thank you very much for watching and have a great day.